Hey guys, it's Sean. Welcome back to my little vintage kitchen and my finale for the Canuary season of 2023. I'm glad you guys are here because I have yet another amazing, unexpected, and incredibly explosively flavorful recipe that we are going to make today, and you are going to love it. Now, probably like the rest of you, I am sad to see Canuary go. But I hope you'll all stick around till the end of this video because I have some very exciting news to share with you all about something special we're going to be doing on my channel. Now, I'm sure every family has their own recipe version of a dish called company potatoes. Some might know them as funeral potatoes, others might know them as party potatoes, but I'm pretty sure everybody kind of knows basically what they are. But if not, company potatoes is basically a very cheesy potato casserole that has chives and sour cream, lots of cheese, and even potato chips in it to give it that added crunch and texture and deliciousness. And my grandmother had an amazing recipe for company potatoes. I also have her recipe for company potatoes, and I love making them for special occasions. It's not something we have all the time because it's a very rich dish, but I do like to have them. And I got to thinking one day, how can I have these without having to go through all the hassle of making that casserole each and every time I want it? The idea came instantly. I'm gonna can it up. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. So what I came up with is a creamy, delicious company potato soup that boasts the exact same flavors of the company potato casserole. Kind of resembles even a loaded potato flavor. But oh my gosh, this is so jam-packed with flavor. Every jar is incredible. This is a perfect option to have on your pantry shelves ready to go using an awesome root vegetable. Who doesn't love a good spud? I know I do. And for this particular recipe, I actually like to use russet potatoes. And I like using them because a russet potato is a very neutral flavor that's going to go cohesively with all the rest of the ingredients in this dish. And it's just going to make a creamy, delectable, oh, so good flavor. Like, I'm really at a loss for words. That's how good this is. But because we are using the russet potatoes, they are a much starchier potato than any of the other varieties. So for my russets, I'm going to peel them and cube them, and I'm going to give them 3 soaks, as I always do to my potatoes, with a preservative to keep them from going brown. But I am actually going to let them soak a lot longer each time to really remove that excess starchiness. I don't want the other ingredients and flavors to fight against that starchiness for their place in this flavor profile. And by doing the rinse a little bit longer each time, I find that it really makes a very big difference in the starch content of the potatoes, which is what I want. I don't want a jar full of starch. I want a jar full of flavor, all the flavors, and that's what we're going to get. Now I have a heavy saucepan on the stove heating up. To that, we're going to add some thick cut smoked bacon. And I like using the smoked bacon because that smoke adds another layer of depth and goes so nicely with everything else. So we're going to get our bacon in, and I'm going to use my kitchen shears to get it in the pan. Kitchen shears are an important accessory everyone should have. They make tasks such as cutting up bacon so much easier, especially for people like me with RA whose hands don't always want to cooperate. Now we have these gorgeous russet potatoes. I'm going to get them peeled and diced and get them soaking in their first bath with a produce protector. Be super careful when cutting up wet potatoes with a knife. The wet potato actually sticks to the blade of the knife, and if you go a little too fast, you might cut more than just the potato. So always just be super cautious and take your time. Next, I have a red pepper. I think it adds a beautiful color into the soup, so I am just going to chop this up as well. Some nice sized pieces, perfect for our soup. Chop those up. Next, I'm going to finely dice up some chives. I really love the flavor of the chive in with the potato and the bacon and all of the other wonderful flavors that are going in this. So we cooked our bacon in here, but as you can see, there's a lot of grease. I don't want that. I'm going to use the same pan because I want that flavor on the bottom, but I'm actually going to get rid of that extra grease. I do not want to put that in my canning jars. Got the extra grease out, but now I want to deglaze the bottom of this pan. And to do that, I'm going to heat it up. And I'm actually going to use just a little bit of white wine, a tiny little bit. There is no measurement. I just want to use it to deglaze the bottom, get all of those delicious bits up. Because all this is flavor, and we want all that in the soup. See how that gets that right up? Some minced garlic right in there. Let that move around for a minute to get fragrant. You don't want to burn it. So I'm going to make a broth for the base. I'm going to use better than bouillon, and I'm going to use the sauteed onion and the roasted chicken. That's going to create a delicious and amazing broth for the base without either flavor being too overpowered for all the other ingredients. It's an absolutely amazing base for this recipe. The garlic is fragrant. We're going to add our broth. Stir. Add a little water. We're going to add our bell pepper. And we're going to add our bacon that's been crumbled. A nice little stir. We're going to let this come to a boil, and then we are going to add some seasonings. You can really smell the garlic and the pepper and that delicious base of the combined onion and chicken bouillon. It just makes a fabulous, fabulous flavor altogether. Now that it has started to boil, we're going to add some chives, and we're going to add some spices, some paprika, poultry seasoning, thyme, salt, and pepper. Put that in there. Stir this up good. We're going to turn the heat down. With the heat turned down, we're going to let this simmer for about 10-15 minutes, and just look at all those gorgeous colors. You've got the green from the chives, the red from the bell pepper, you've got that gorgeous deep base broth, and then when we add the potatoes to it, it's just going to be fabulous. So our broth has been boiling, and now I want to thicken it up using the clear gel. So I'm just going to mix up some clear gel, cup of water, half a cup of clear gel, and we're going to add it into this. You want to make sure you mix it up to the point where there is no more lumps, no more cake in there. You want it to be a nice, smooth, milky mixture. Now we're going to add the clear gel mixture right into our pot and let it boil for about 5 minutes. A good stir. It's already thickening. It's got a great consistency. I'm going to bring this back up to a boil, let it go for about 5 minutes, and while that is happening, we're going to get our jars ready. I'm using my quart wide mouth jars again, and as always, I'm making sure they're free from chips and cracks, and that the lids and rings are free from dust and dents. Any imperfections that I think that may prevent the seal, I'm going to get rid of. Always remember, when in doubt, toss it out. And I'm just going to give them a nice hot bath and some soapy water with a good rinse. Now we're going to take our clean jars and I'm going to add hot water to them to keep them hot until we're ready to use them. I just use tap water. Our soup base is done. That's been simmering. It's actually really nice and thick and delicious, and the flavor in there is amazing. I'm going to switch pans. I need a bigger pan to put all of this together. I busted out my trusty enamel pan, and we are going to mix everything in there together because the potatoes would not fit in this pan and it would explode all over my kitchen. So I have left the potatoes soaking in the third bath for probably a good half an hour. I'm going to drain them and get them into this pot. All right, now this is ready to go into our jars. Boy, oh boy, not only does this smell amazing, it looks amazing too. That is wonderful, wonderful flavor in the soup. You can taste the bacon, you can taste the peppers, you can taste the chives, you can taste the seasonings that we added. This is fabulous. So now using my jar funnel, we are going to ladle this into our hot jars and we're going to leave a 1-inch headspace. I'm going to debubble and readjust if I need back to that 1-inch headspace. We're almost done. Take our vinegar dip, paper towel, and the rims. Yeah. Let's get our lids. And our rings. Perfect. Look at those gorgeous colors in these jars. The potatoes, the bacon. This is a beautiful addition to your pantry. That yumminess. Oh, how good do those jars look? All right, we have 6 quarts in the canner. To that, I'm going to add the remainder of my vinegar. Turn this on. And we're going to bring this all to temperature together. Now, the reason I choose to keep my potatoes raw is I don't want them to break down too much. Between cooking up with the sauce for about 20 minutes and then processing for another 90 minutes, I feel that really breaks down the integrity of the potato, and I don't want mushy potatoes. So I choose to do the raw pack potato method with my hot broth. What you do is entirely up to you. My kitchen, my rules. Your kitchen, your rules. I've been making it this way for a while and it is positively delicious. And by not cooking the potatoes ahead of time, I really feel like it keeps a little bit of a bite left in it instead of it just being complete mush. Nobody wants a mushy potato. Nobody. Our water is boiling nicely, so I'm actually going to put the lid on and lock it in place. I need to wait for steam to gather in here and to see a steady stream coming out of this vent. Once I see that steady stream, I am going to set my timer for 10 minutes. My canner is steaming consistently, so I'm actually going to set my timer, and we are just going to let this vent like it is. Now what this is doing is pushing all of the air out, which is what we need. We need all the steam to remain. This ensures that there will be nothing left in the chamber besides steam. So at the end of 10 minutes, we'll put our weight on and really get this going. I am so excited. I am so excited for this. Oh, it is delicious, and what an amazing, unexpected flavor explosion it will be on your pantry shelves, just like it is on mine. It won't last long. Just like the green beans, this is going to go. See you back in 10 minutes. Been venting for 10 minutes. Gonna pop our weight on. I'm gonna let this come up to my PSI, which is 11. You must know your PSI. That is a number that's based on your elevation. And if you are unsure of it, Google will always provide you with the correct elevation, and therefore you can establish your PSI number from that. Again, mine is 11. Once it gets to 11, I will start my timer and I will process my quarts for an hour and a half. If these were pints, I'd be doing them for an hour and 15 minutes, but they're not. So I'll see you guys back here in an hour and a half. Don't forget to journal your entry in your canning journal. You want to keep a complete record of everything you can so you have something to fall back on. Whether it went right or wrong, I always keep a journal and I always have a reference. Our timer has gone off. It is done processing. I'm going to shut the heat off, and we are going to let this naturally depressurize on its own. What that means is you're going to do nothing to it. Don't touch it, leave it alone. It will naturally depressurize itself. It can take about 30 minutes sometimes to do so, but basically you want to see the seal in the front down, your gauge at 0, and when you remove the weight, no steam whatsoever. So we're going to naturally let this do this on its own, and I will bring you guys back when it is done. I wish you could smell what I'm smelling in my kitchen. I am craving a dish of company potatoes. Oh my Lord, this is going to be so good. So good. Oh my gosh. I'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Our seal in the front has gone down. My number is 0. No steam. It's done. And I wish you guys could smell this. If you're wondering what this is, I always obviously set a towel down on my cutting boards because it's coming out of wet water and I just don't want to make rings. So I initially put a towel down, and that's what it's for. Get this and unlock always away from your face. Careful of that water, that condensation that's built up in the top. You want to be careful of that. You guys, this smells so good. Like, oh, I can't wait for you to see this. Are you ready? Are you really ready? Look at what we have. We have, that scared me. Oh my gosh, so the light flashed at the same time that pinged. I thought the jar was about to break. That's hysterical. Oh my gosh, I'm leaving that in. That was funny. I can smell the bacon, I can smell the potato, I can smell some chive. Everything has this creamy, delectable aroma to it. Look at how pretty that is. 6 amazing quarts of, oh, just gold. This is, to me, this is gold on my pantry shelves because I can do so much with this company potatoes in a jar. It's, oh, It smells so good. Just look at those spices. You can see the peppers, you can see the potatoes, you can see the garlic. Oh, so good. All right, we are gonna let these sit now. I have taken them all out. I've set them on the cutting board. We're gonna remove the rings as soon as it's safe to do so. And we do this because leaving the rings on holds the lids down in place, and that can create a false seal, which is no good. We need to know that the seal is working on its own and completely sealed. So that's why it's important to take the rings off. Just gonna let them set. I'll use a couple pot holders and we'll take those off. I wish you guys could smell this. Oh my Lord, my Lanta, my Lord. Our jars have cooled down to the touch, so I can actually take the rings off, no problem. This is why we take the rings off. This jar did not seal. Second jar did not seal. Now, because two of these didn't seal, I'm going to test these jars, and you do so by kind of picking up the lid and lifting a little. You can hear it in the sound. That's how unsealed sounds. So there's a very big difference there, but I'm gonna lift them over my cutting board by the top and test the seal. And the rest of the seals seem to be good. But this is why we take these rings off. These didn't seal. But that just means that those two jars are going to be tonight's dinner, and I'm going to show you one of the ways our family loves to enjoy them. I guarantee it's going to be a favorite on your family's table too. Let's go upstairs and make dinner. One of the ways that my family likes to enjoy this is kind of putting it back into the company potatoes casserole. So what I'm going to do is take the two jars that did not seal, and I'm actually going to put them in a large bowl. And to that, I am going to mix in just about a half a cup of heavy cream, give or take a little bit. The reason I'm not going to do this on the stovetop in a pan and heat it up is because this is going in the oven, and we're actually going to throw some biscuit pieces on the top and let it just get scrumdiddlyumptious, because you better believe it will. And I don't want to over process my potatoes and make them mush. We've already processed them for 90 minutes. I don't need to boil them for 10 to put them in the oven for about 15. We're going to skip the stovetop and we're going right to the oven. So I'm going to get a bowl and get all of this mixed up. All right, we're going to dump out the contents. I'm going to add the second one. This we're just going to add about a half a cup of heavy cream. Now it is thick and creamy from using the Sure Gel, but this adds a depth to the creaminess that the Sure Gel just needed. It needs to have the marriage to the cream to make this an absolutely delicious dish. And you just want to gently fold all of that in there. You don't want to beat the potatoes up, but you want to make sure it gets nice and creamy like that. That's perfect. Oh my God, this smells so good. It's all mixed up. We've got it into a, 9 by 13 pan. Just gonna spread it out a little even. I like to add a bit more fresh cracked pepper to this. And to this, we're actually just gonna take a can of biscuits. We are going to slap them on the top. We're gonna break them up, make them into little pieces. This is going to go in the oven at 350. If you wanted to sprinkle a little thyme on top of your biscuits, you totally could. You could add a little garlic salt, a little pepper. Any herb you want on this you can add, but I know the flavor this has. It's going to hold its own, so I don't need anything else on top of these biscuits. We're going to pop them in the oven about 15-20 minutes. The best way to enjoy this is with a little more crispy bacon on top once it's done. So while it's in the oven baking up, I'm going to actually throw some more of that thick cut smoked bacon into my skillet and have it ready to be crumbled on top of our plates. Oh, so good. I love bacon. It's like the bacon dance. My daughter's watching me. She thinks I'm nuts. Maybe I am. I'm going to shred up some grass-fed cheddar cheese as an extra topping because who doesn't love cheese? I'm also going to dice up some more chives as an extra topping as well. Our company potato casserole is done, so I am just going to get this out onto my plate. My gosh, I wish you guys could smell how good this smells. We're going to add some of that freshly grated mild cheddar cheese. We're going to add a little bit more of that crispy bacon. We'll put some more chives on top of that. I'm going to also add a nice plop of potato chips, which makes all the difference. Trust me. A little dollop of sour cream, a few more sprinkles of chives and bacon, and we are ready to eat this. Oh my God, this is so good. Oh. You can taste the bacon, you can taste the scallions, you can taste that deep, delicious base that we made using the Better Than Bouillon chicken and sauteed onion. What an amazing base that is. The cheese on top is just phenomenal. All of these flavors mesh together so good. This is really a meal within itself, and this is just one way to enjoy it. Look at that. So good. So good. You guys need to absolutely make this and let me know what you think down in the comment section, because there is no way you won't love this. This is so good. I can't stop eating it. Now you've seen why it is so important to never leave the rings on. If I had left the rings on those jars, I never would have known the seal was bad, which could have potentially led to some form of food poisoning or just a situation that I don't want. So that's why we always take those rings off. Now, on the flip side of it, you got to see how my family enjoys this dish, and can I just tell you, it was phenomenal. There is none left. The whole pan is empty. Both quarts are gone. Done. And that's going to happen in your house too if you make this. It is absolutely delicious. You can utilize this so many different ways. You could use these jars as a starting base to have a nice chicken pot pie that you could add more to. You could turn it into the company potatoes casserole like I did with some biscuits on top. You could serve it in a bread bowl, or you could serve it alone. You could put all the trimmings or none of the trimmings. Whatever way you want it, it will be amazing. But I have to say, adding the cheese, the sour cream, extra bacon, and some chives was positively delicious. And don't forget to put those potato chips on there. I'm not crazy, I'm telling you, it is absolutely delicious. Now, before we get to the ending of this, I told you guys that I was going to have some big news for you, and here it comes. Canuary may be coming to an end, but I want to introduce you to a new series that will be exclusively on my channel, and it will be in my little vintage kitchen. Welcome to Canuary Junction. Now, Canuary Junction is a series that is exclusively to my channel that I have created, where I am going to be sharing at the very least once a month, but it's probably going to be more, some amazing, unexpected, bursting with flavor canning recipes like I shared with you all through the month of January, or as we like to call it, Canuary. I'm going to keep it going. Who says it has to end there? But here's the catch. You are not going to know when it is going to happen. There's no specific rhyme or reason as to when I will share them. So you are definitely going to want to hit that subscribe button and even smash that notification bell so you will never miss them when they come up. Because I can promise you, if you thought my Canuary was flavorful, you haven't seen anything yet. I still have several tricks up my sleeve, and I'm excited to share them with you. So I hope you guys will come along for the ride as we launch Canuary Junction from my little vintage kitchen. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. This is going to be so much fun. And if you like what you saw here today, I'd appreciate you giving me a thumbs up on this. That just helps my channel be even a little bit more relevant and helps other people enjoy it as well. And don't forget to share this video with your friends so they can become part of our little canning community over here in Canuary Junction. How cute is that? Now, I have to give props for this sign to my daughter Nicole. I told her what I wanted to do, and I just set her loose with my Cricut Maker 3. And this is what she came up with, and I absolutely love it. So once again, She's in Her Element is going to present an ongoing series called Canuary Junction right here from my little vintage kitchen, and I will share with you more amazing and unexpected flavor profiles in meals in a jar, as well as plain old ingredients that can be canned with specific flavors and intents. But you're going to want to be part of this for sure. You are not going to want to miss any of these. Expect the unexpected with me. You know that. Well, once again, thank you for joining me as we finished off our celebration of Canuary 2023 officially with everybody else on YouTube. But like I said, Canuary Junction is going to keep on going from here on out. So thank you so much for visiting in my home today. I do hope you enjoyed this company potato in a jar recipe. It is absolutely amazing, so flavorful. I am so full. But oh my gosh, was it so good. Even the baby just literally gobbled it right up. 2 quarts. There's nothing left. It's completely gone. So this Mama Bear is pretty excited because all my little cubs are upstairs with all their little cubs, and we are going to settle in for a good old-fashioned family movie night with some popcorn. So once again, thank you so much for stopping by my little vintage kitchen, and don't forget to subscribe so you can be part of Canuary Junction, a new series you will only find here on my channel. Bye.